You ever had a boss who just told you what to do versus one who made you want to do it? That right there, that's the huge difference between just being a manager and being a true leader. So in this explainer, we're going to break down what it really takes to make that leap and how it can totally transform not just your team, but your entire career. So let's start with a really honest question for you. Are you building a team of followers, people who just do what they're told? Or are you building a team of future leaders? Because the answer to that one question, well, it's going to determine your entire legacy. This slide really gets to the heart of it all. See, transactional leadership is a simple trade. You do this, I give you that. It's about managing behavior, it's about compliance. But transformational leadership, oh, that's a whole different ballgame. It's about something so much deeper. It's about inspiring people to believe in a shared vision and to become the absolute best versions of themselves. And that, right there, is exactly why transformational leadership is the new ideal. This isn't just a set of tactics you can learn or some style you put on like a coat. Nope. It's a fundamental shift in how you see your role as a leader. So what is a transformational leader, really? Well, they're the ones who don't just manage people, they inspire them. They don't just set goals, they paint this incredibly compelling picture of the future. Simply put, they have this amazing ability to turn followers into leaders themselves. I want you to think of this leadership model like you're constructing a 5-story building, okay? The foundation, the solid ground it's all built on, is a clear and compelling vision. The first floor is your character, your integrity. The second floor is your absolute commitment to elevating others. The third is where you spark new ideas through intellectual stimulation, and that top floor, that's emotional stewardship. Your ability to create a positive, resilient, and super productive environment. All right, so how do you actually build this 5-story building of transformational leadership? Well, it all starts with a huge shift, right up here in your mindset, because this isn't about what you do, it's about who you decide to be. Here's the bottom line. You simply cannot lead other people until you can effectively lead yourself, period. That's the core idea here. It's about developing the self-discipline, the emotional intelligence, and that unwavering integrity that earns you the genuine trust and respect of your team long before you ever ask them to do a single thing. You know that feeling when you've been so inspired by someone that you would honestly follow them anywhere? That is the power of resonance. When your vision and your values connect with your team's deepest hopes and dreams, you don't have to force them to follow you. They'll do it willingly, even enthusiastically. Let's paint a picture. Imagine your team is constantly missing deadlines. Now, a typical manager might react by just cracking the whip, demanding people work longer hours. That's just solving the immediate problem. But a transformational leader? Nah, they dig way deeper. They ask why. Why are deadlines being missed? Is it a broken workflow, a lack of resources, a breakdown in communication? They solve the underlying pattern, not just the symptom. So, how do you develop this powerful pattern-solving mindset? Well, the great news is it's not something you're just born with. It's something you build piece by piece, deliberately. It's a journey of self-improvement, and it starts with forging a new set of core traits. I want you to think of it like climbing a mountain. The first, most critical step is to get yourself in peak condition. That's master yourself. The second step is to learn how to communicate flawlessly with your climbing partners. That's master communication. And that final step, that's leading your team confidently all the way to the summit. And that's master your team. Mastering yourself is all about building that rock-solid foundation of trust. It means staying calm and clear-headed, even under intense pressure. It means knowing exactly who you are and what you stand for, and it means taking absolute 100% responsibility for your actions and their outcomes. Okay, so once you've mastered yourself, you're ready to lead others. And that all begins with your ability to communicate your vision. Think of someone like Steve Jobs. He didn't just sell computers, he sold a vision of a world where technology was beautiful, intuitive, and empowering for everyone. That is mastering communication. And finally, mastering your team. This is about creating a high-performance culture that actually lasts. It means you're coaching your people to be their absolute best, setting a super high bar for excellence that everyone is excited to reach, and keeping the entire team relentlessly focused on what truly matters most. So you've climbed the mountain, you've mastered yourself, your communication, and your team. But what's the real-world payoff? Is all this effort really worth it? Well, the answer from the data is a resounding yes, and we've got the numbers to prove it. A 21% potential increase in profitability. I mean, just let that sink in for a moment. That is not a small bump. That's a straight up game changer. For a lot of businesses, that's the difference between just surviving and truly thriving. You ever had a great boss that you would have followed to the ends of the earth? That's the kind of power we're talking about here. When you create an environment where people feel valued, where they feel challenged and supported, they don't go looking for other jobs. They stick with you through thick and thin. And look, the proof is right here in the pudding. This chart says it all. When you lead with vision, with integrity, and with a genuine commitment to your people, they will consistently repay you with their absolute best work. Performance just skyrockets. So, we've seen that transformational leadership is good for business, it's good for your team, and it's good for your career. But you know, it's really about more than just that. It's about the kind of leader you want to be and the kind of legacy you want to leave behind. Think about the great leaders throughout history. Their impact didn't just end when they left the stage, right? Their ideas, their values, their vision, it all continued to inspire people for generations. That is the incredible power of a true legacy. So I'll leave you with this one question. When you're gone, what will people say about you? Will they say you were a good manager who got things done, or will they say you were a great leader who changed their life for the better? The choice is yours.